Hi everyone, here we are again. It's a little past the middle of May and we're still at home, behaving ourselves, hopefully. I have an arrangement here of flowers. It's springtime, and with all the rain the last few days, you can almost see the grass grow. And I just love to see the flowers come out and grow. But it's a little too chilly yet for annuals or for the late blooming summer ones. So as I drive by the gardening centers lately and see all the bright colors, I thought, what can we do about this? So I decided, why don't we make some flowers, and then we can make them whatever color we want, whatever size we want, and use them for whatever we want, and they won't wilt and die on us. They should last quite a bit longer than the regular flower. So that's what I decided. I hope to plant some seeds in your brain today, in your mind, so that you might want to pick up the idea too. You can sit and make these while you're watching your favorite rerun on TV, because that's all that's on these days. Or you can sit out in the sun, enjoying the sun until the thunder and lightning comes, and make a few of these. I only chose 3 different designs for today because once I went on YouTube and Facebook and just generally the internet on blogs and whatnot, there was hundreds, probably thousands of ideas. We would never get around to them all, but I'll just show you 3, and when you see how quickly they're done, I think you'll decide you might want to look at more ideas and make a whole bouquet. So the first one I thought was kind of cute, and it's just a ruched flower. We used to call it gathering stitch, and that's what's still called, but they're ruched because they're all pulled up. Now these are generally made of ribbon. I happen to have a 1.5 inch size ribbon in, so I cut off about 24 inches. And if you want to see how easy it is, just take your 24 inches of ribbon, run a gathering stitch up the center. When you're happy that you have the whole thing done, pull your thread until you have the desired amount of ruching for your particular flower, and play with it a bit to get the right shape, tack it in place, and there you go. You can make one in no time at all. If you have all kinds of ribbon, you can make a whole bouquet in different colors. So I thought, well, that is cute and it's fast, so let's try something different. So I happen to have some this embroidered, well, it's dollar store ribbon. It's nothing special, but it was kind of pretty, so I thought, okay. So I cut a length off it, 24 inches, put the running stitch up the center and pulled it. And I was really happy. It's almost like a Queen Anne's lace. Isn't that cute? So if you want to make a bouquet, I thought that turned out quite well. Now, I also had some white, but it's very, very thin, and I tried it and I wasn't as happy. So the thicker you might be more satisfied with, but try it with whatever you want. How much time are you taking away from what you're doing? And it's not like you're in a hurry to go anywhere these days. So I thought this was quite cute. And as I say, it was just the dollar store. Because I tried to use anything I had in the house. We're not supposed to be out for frivolous things, but I don't consider crafting and quilting frivolous, but they might. So we're not supposed to be out for things like that. So I pull together whatever I had in the house, and I bet if you did the same, you'd be surprised with what you come up with. So the white I found it thin. I would say, if you're going to use a really thin one like this, go a lot longer and just really ruche it up. The second one, and then I thought, well, ribbon works, why not try some felt? Because I happen to have felt in the house. So this one I only made about 12 or 13 inches long because it's much thicker, and so you're not going to want the volume. So I did the same thing, ran the running stitch up the center, and when I pulled it together, I got this cute little pattern. And of course, if you want to put some leaves on it, or a stem, or just you decorate it however you want. I had a stem here somewhere. Leaves or stem, or do whatever. But for such a short period of time, you get quite cute results, I would say. The third one I looked at, you take a length of fabric, about 18 inches, and I cut 3 inches wide, fold it in half so you don't have a raw edge on the end. And again, I did a running stitch around, only this time at the end of the fabric, did the running stitch at the end of the fabric. I had cut a piece out here. Just pretend this is your fabric. The running stitch this time, instead of the center, goes along the edge. So when you pull your stitch, you get the fullness towards the middle and the end. And then you don't have the raw edges on it. Tack it and a little button or a bead or something in the center. And you can decide how you want to finish it on the back. I didn't, so that you could see that this is unfinished, but I'll do something with it. Something like this would be cute for a hair clip for a little girl, or a smaller one, maybe a brooch for someone. But again, 3 minutes probably. If you were timing yourself, I'm not sure if it would even take that long. The next one I looked at I thought was pretty cute. I made 2 layers of the petals of different color and just put a button in the center. Now, you can sew the button on or glue gun it, whichever type of button you're going to use, or it doesn't have to be a button, just something to finish the center. The second one I made was very similar, and I happened to have a button the same color as the fabric for the flower. And I did not put it together so we could look at it. So this is the finished product. And to make the little leaves, especially the pointed, now you can play with them and make them really pointed. You can turn it so that it's turned in a bit. You just form your flowers however you choose to. For each petal, now you can make different sizes. This just happened to be the size I chose. For this size petal, I used the top of my lace container, and I cut out 3-inch circles. You take your 3-inch circle, fold it in half, fold it in half again, and with a thread and needle, you run your running stitch along the bottom of the triangle. Then you just add the next one to it and run the running stitch along the bottom. You go for the next one. I'm just alternating the colors this time. Just with this, take a long thread. You're going to pull it up so it's not so long, but it's easier for you to work with if it's longer while you're making it. If it's probably about 18 inches. I didn't measure. I just looked at it and thought that looks like enough. So you do your running stitch along the bottom and pull it up, and when you have them all together, you just keep on going until you have the size and shape you want, and that's how they go together. And when you don't have to sew these petals together, where you just knot your thread when you come to the end. And this circle's very large. You wouldn't necessarily leave a large one like that, but it's a little bigger just to show you the idea. Then I made this one. Now what you could do is make a 3-inch circle, the 3-inch circle, or for your fabric for your petal for the outside, and maybe 2.5 for the inside if you want them a little bit smaller. You adjust it, play with it, because it's surprising what you can come up with, and it's kind of cute to see them form. So I did use the 3-inch one for each of these, but you don't have to. And then when you put your button in the center and finish it however you want in the back with something stable, or just a piece of cloth, circular piece of cloth, just so it'll look finished in the back. So I thought they were kind of cute. I don't have any certain name for them, but I thought they were cute. Our next one, and I really like this, I'm going to make a whole bunch of these. Since nobody tends to give me flowers, I have to make my own. And that's the way it's going to be, and that's the way it's okay. Look at this. Doesn't that look like a rose? I just love it. I don't know if you can tell the petals, how they come together. This is made out of red felt, And it's a little larger and easier. I thought it'd be easier to work with to try it first. But if you have satin ribbon, or if you have satiny type material or brocade or something shiny, I would try. I think it would make a beautiful, beautiful rose. And of course, you just fix it however you want to make it look as realistic as possible, or not, whichever you choose. Now, my friend Gloria made these adorable little doilies, and I thought, how pretty does this look? So I let it sit on the doily, and look how cute that is. Darn, I can't show it right. Anyway, it's sitting there, and it's as cute as can be. Now this one is exceptionally easy. Well, they're all easy. There's not one that isn't very quick and easy to make, but I think for your results, I like this probably the best, but I do like them all. So what I did for this one, I made a smaller one to show you. This one I made off 3-inch circles. I took, just because I had my handy dandy 3-inch template nearby. So I used 3-inch circles for this one, but on 2.5, just to give you an idea of the size, it's 2.5 inches for this one. And what you do is you cut out your 2.5 inches circles off. They could be felt, it could be ribbon, it could be a wide ribbon, or it could be fabric. And you have your 2.5-inch circles. I think I had 8. Cut them in half, and then you lay them one on top of the other and sew them together. So you take the first one, you take your second half circle, just lay it there, and just make a seam down the side. When you come to your next semicircle, you lay it on top, and that's what makes the layer over layer. You're just putting it over the edge a wee bit. So let's look at this guy. See how easy this is. That's what you end up with. You take your half circles, just put over the end a little bit. Make sure they're all going the same way. Well, I don't know. I didn't try it the other way. But put it end over end so they're going the same way. You have your thread left at the end. You do not pull this one together. You don't ruche this one or pull them together. You leave it end to end. And then you slowly just wind her up. The only thing is, keep your finger along the bottom. If not, it'll be uneven. It's just easier to work with if you have have it even at the very base. So just wind it up as you're talking, you're watching TV, or looking out the window, whatever you want to do. And when you wind it up, you make one stitch there, and you have your little rosebud. Isn't that the cutest? I thought that was adorable. And make different sizes, make several. Of course, not all roses are the same size, and that's the same with all of these. Try different designs, try different sizes, try different colors. These two, I happen to have one layer on top of the other. With this one I'm alternating the colors, because a lot of flowers now are variegated, and they're putting different colors together, or they come up in seeds that way. The bees pollinate them, and away they go. So that's as simple as that is. That's as cute as can be. Again, I used the felt because I had it. And maybe it was easier to work with because it's a little thicker, but I think a nice ribbon, a wider ribbon. You'd have to have about a 3-inch wide ribbon, because you're cutting the circles in half, remember, to make the petals. Or fabric, if you have some kind of fabric. I think that would be gorgeous. I didn't make one because I want you to be the creators. I'll give you the ideas, and I'm really anxious to watch your flower garden grow. But I thought that was adorable. And you can add your leaves to the roses too. Get carried away and add whatever you want. You can add leaves to them. If you make a whole bouquet, maybe to put in a vase, you could use drinking straws for the stems, or chenille sticks, or whatever you can think of that's around that you don't have to go out and buy until our lockdown is over. So I thought they were pretty cute. They do not take much fabric or material. You probably have the material there. Well, you're going to, because you're going to use whatever you have. So flowers can be any color, any size, any design, and therefore whatever you have will be the right idea. Now, I said about the yellow one, it would be cute for a hair clip for a girl or a brooch, a smaller one. Well, not for the hair clip maybe, but what else could we use them for? Well, if you have a tote bag that needs a little extra something, sew a couple onto the tote bag. They're nice 3D accessories onto your tote bag. If you have a tablecloth or table runner and you're not going to want to put it on top because you're going to spill things. But Marlene was telling me that she noticed one of a table runner and it had the part that hangs down or the part on the end where you're not going to be using it anyway. And that was a great idea. I want to thank Marlene for suggesting we do flowers. I had so much fun doing this. I hope you enjoy yourself when you're working away. Now, another idea I had to do with these was I saw a picture and I couldn't download it, but you can imagine, and it was black velvet covering well, it looked like a painter's easel, but you could have a picture frame or a piece of plywood or anything, and on the black velvet they had different types of flowers, and they were 3D type, and then they embroidered the stems and the leaves, but you could make a bias and put it for a stem and cut out the leaves. Kate Anderson had a lovely wall hanging I saw with different flowers on it, and I meant to ask her to show you, and I apologize I didn't do it, but it was really pretty. And of course, yo-yos are a very common one, flower to make, and they add a lot to it. I didn't use that one because most people have used them before and they're familiar with them. So when I thought about the black velvet, I thought, well, I had a painter's easel, just one from one of the cheaper stores, and I used it for a mini. I put my blocks on it, and it sticks to it. I padded it with the cloth and a little bit of padding underneath, and my fabric sticks to it when I'm making my blocks. And so I thought, okay, if you want to, the black looked nice. The one that they had, the black velvet, it really did. Especially, it depends on the colors for flowers. The black looked lovely, but what do you want? Maybe you want the flowers growing on grass. So if you want to use the green one, and there's a few butterflies flying around here that are around your flowers, and make a 3D wall hanging with that. I have to attach them. I didn't attach them. But it makes for a nice, bright springtime feature until our flowers become a little more abundant in our gardens, or just because you want a different type of flower or something different. So I hope you got a couple of ideas, or I'm sure you made flowers before. Reminded you again that's a long time since you made them, and let's go ahead and do a few more. So I hope you enjoyed seeing this, and I'm going to look forward to seeing the ones you finished. And maybe we'll be allowed out in public soon. I feel like a bad kid that's on detention or something when I'm not allowed out. I want to get back to quilt shows and quilt stores. Not that I need to go to the stores, but very few of us do, and we always want to go back. So enjoy yourself, enjoy your flowers, and I hope you got a couple of ideas and really realize how quickly they can grow, quicker than the ones in your garden. Bye for now.